Welcome, Pepin Falcons, to another edition of Math is More Than Fun at Pepin. I am your host, Mr. Newber. Let's review what we've done so far. Two important things. First, I tried to point out to you how important it is around the world for engineers and technology people to do math in the same manner. It is agreed upon among nations that technology is the same. Electrons are electrons. Whether you're in Russia, China, Korea, the United States, Brazil, no matter where you are, the stream of electrons is the same technology. That's why we have to learn how to correctly solve equations. And I demonstrated that with my stereo system, which has components from all over the world. The second thing what we did is we looked at this fellow right here. This is the most important symbol in math, right here. And it is the equal sign. All right? If you understand what that is, what that means is in this example equation here, all of this over here, it doesn't matter whether you understand that or not. Not today. It doesn't matter if you've never seen anything like it. Fine, that's good. Some of you have, but those of you who have know that's really not a big deal. If you do all 8 steps correctly for solving an equation, you're going to find out that x equals 6 in this. Oops. Okay, but that's what we're going to do. All that we learned is that this on this side, whatever it is the same as this on this side. It just has different numbers. Okay? So what I'm going to do with this one and the remainder of our lessons that we're going to do here is put this up. I'm going to put these up. Sorry. Well, I'm going to put these up and I'm going to leave them up here so that you can review them as we go on. I'll probably have to move them up. The purpose of this is to isolate the unknown. Here's what we mean by that. Let me move over here so that Teddy can see what we're doing here. All right? Isolate the unknown. When you look at this, every one of you know what 4 is. You see that I'm adding 4. You know what this symbol is. You know what this symbol is. You know what 10 is. 10, all right, here's another 4. Oh, it's just like this. You know what 12 is, all right? Do you know what that's a letter. And this is where it might start to get a little bit strange. There's actually a letter up here that represents a number. But that letter is the same as that letter, is the same as that letter, and there's another one over here. It doesn't matter how many there are. There could be 10 of them on this side and 10 of them on this side. If they are the same letter, they are the unknown. That is the unknown. What we do when we have equations like this, there is always this word that shows up right above where you're supposed to do your work, and it's the word solve. So what is the first step we're going to take to solve this complicated looking equation? What is the first step that we're going to take? We are going to identify our goal. As this says, math is so much like life itself. You need to first and foremost focus on the goal. So what do you think the goal is for this? Yes, Manning, I know you know it. What is the goal for this? Ivante, do you know what is the goal? What are we doing when we solve? Well, somebody said it. I don't know who it was, but somebody says, what is X? What is it? Okay. The way we write what you just said, where you were, what you just said is we are going to come down here and we are going to have X equals. Now, we're on our way to solving it because when we isolate the unknown, that means we're going to work on this equation on the 7 or 8 steps that I'm going to show you coming up, and it's going to be so natural. I'm jumping around here because I'm excited. It's going to be so much fun. And this is what we're going to end up with. X equals, wait a minute. Yep, it's 6. X equals 6. We solved it. That's what we were supposed to do. Not only does that help give you a good grade, but it increases your understanding of how the world works. X equals 6. We identified the goal. I want you to write this down here before you even start trying to do this. I need you to focus on this. We want to get an X all by itself. We want to get an X all by itself down here equaling a number. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Then you can work these equations, no matter who gives them to you, no matter where they show up, and no matter what grade you're in, you're going to be able to solve these equations. These are going to be algebraic equations. We'll have a member of the alphabet in it. Many of the alphabets letters that you see in equations are used over and over again. Some are not used so much, like O. We don't use O because O looks like a 0. So we're not going to do that. Some letters are very seldom. Some letters are used in other forms of math. For instance, we may solve an equation someday, and there's L's in there. L is for length. W is for width. So different letters can mean different things depending on what you're trying to solve. But all this series, this 9-part series, is going to focus on just a straight up algebraic equation, good old X. It's been there for centuries, all right? And we're going to do this the same way they do it on the other side of the world. And they're all sleeping right now, but when they get up in the morning and go to school, they're going to solve equations like this, and you wouldn't understand a word they're saying, but they're doing the same thing that we're going to be doing with these. All right? So we're going to remember that because I'm going to leave it up there. Okay? Any questions? That's what I like. Everybody understands. Great. Let's get to the next one.